Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Evening. Wait, am I? No, I am. I was wondering if I was all of a sudden like really behind, like doing. I think I'm okay.
It's flat out night here.
It's flat out night. Okay, we're good. Okay, we'll start again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's music show where we're going to be discussing some of the hot songs that hit the Billboard charts last week.
Or the week before.
Or the week before. No, it was last week. Last week. So tonight, gang, what we're going to be doing, a couple of music shows. Well, actually, the second show with Dan and Shaney is combining a little bit of the news of the week with a little bit of a look at some of the songs and such that are in the charts this week, or the last couple of weeks here in the Billboard charts that are usable on your dance floor. Now, the show that MJ is going to be launching here in June, tonight's going to be a little sample of that. And that's a show where it's not looking specifically at what songs are hitting on our dance floor. It's songs that are getting into the charts to the point where we should be aware of them, which means that sometimes they're going to be a hit. Sometimes it might be just a flash in the pan. And that's going to be kind of a weekly show that MJ is going to be doing. MJ, for those who are not familiar with your methodology, let's go and kind of refresh the memory on that when you're looking on the charts each week for what songs to add to your collection.
Well, I have this cone-shaped hat that a wizard once gave me, and I just stick my hand in, and whatever song comes out is what I play.
And it works incredibly well. So that's tonight's show. Thank you guys for watching.
That's it. Get your magic hat.
Get your magic wizard hat.
I'm the way I tell everybody, and I am going to explain tonight that I do stuff beyond just that, because I do have a certain level to what I'm going to show tonight, and there is a certain level we're going to talk about that's beyond that, and we're going to give a couple songs as examples of both. But each week, because I feel that you really need to stay up on the music, because I always tell people, no matter what type of DJ you are, try to do your job one day without music. You can't. So music is your foundation. So as long as you always have a solid foundation, you can always grow easier from that. But it's hard to play catch up if you don't have that good music foundation. So I suggest every single week, set a time aside to go get yourself new music, or look through, like if you have a service that downloads it for you, set a time every week that you go through it, pick out the ones you want, that sort of thing like that. And that's kind of what we're going to do each week on the show, is we're going to look at the Billboard chart, which I feel is it's just the international standard for music charting. I mean, people say, well, I like so-and-so's chart, and I like so-and-so's chart. You can say you like it, but Billboard is the chart. You don't get awards for so-and-so's chart or so-and-so's chart. You get Billboard awards because everyone looks at Billboard. Radio stations look at Billboard to know what to play. DJs look at Billboard to see what's charting. It's just the standard. Now, is it the tell-all? No, it is not the bottom tell-all, because there is such a diverse world. Because if you compare it to like Spotify's chart, they're going to look very different. But Spotify is going to tell you like that instant flavor of the second. But it may not mean anything to your dance floor for a month or two, But the Billboard is kind of your easy chart to look at that. and judge by. And what I'm going to talk about in the show each week is, as it's kind of ironic that we're doing the show on a Monday, because the Billboard chart of the new updates comes out every Tuesday. So tonight is the 13th of May, 2019, and all the stuff I'm showing you tonight will change as of tomorrow, the 14th. So for the shows that we'll do in the future will be after be like on a Tuesday, so that when the new one kicks across, we'll have the songs that come out that week. But what I'm basically going to look at in the show and tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we do that and how we're going to do the show, and maybe even do future ones like this live as opposed to different things. But I just kind of look at what I have, because remember, I say catch up on it, so I'm caught up. So pretend you're caught up to all the new music. Once a week, I go and look at what songs I don't have. And that's kind of what the show's going to be about. What songs have now popped into the top 40? Now, it could be 39. It could be number 1. That's what we're going to look at, what's popping in. And also ways to look at things that aren't there yet, but they're going to be there next week, that sort of thing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about examples about that too. But that's basically the whole thing. We're going to look at, basically this week we're looking at 4 songs. 2 I downloaded. Actually, we're going to look at 5 songs. 2 I downloaded, 2 I did not download, and 1 I tried to download and couldn't find. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too, because I talked to John about that in detail and how interesting, right as we're getting ready to do this show, how that one came about, that it charted and I couldn't find it. So where do you want to start, John?
Well, let's start. You've got a couple of the songs that you had pulled out, so let's jump on one of those. And if we're about ready, because I'm going to, for those of you watching on Facebook, Jim, thank you for joining us on Facebook. Click the link to go to YouTube, because Facebook is much more particular when it comes to music and banning people if they hear music. And there's going to be music played during these shows. It's going to cause, most of the time, YouTube will be okay with it. It's just that they're going to unmonetize the videos. Not a big deal. I mean, it won't be monetized for us. It'll be monetized for someone else. We're okay with that, because as long as you guys can hear it and learn from it, then we're good. But Facebook doesn't like to play that game. So if you're watching on Facebook, click the YouTube link to join us over there, because the stream is going to be shut off here in just a moment.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to get ready to share a screen here. I hope I share the right screen. Okay, we are looking at the charts, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so this is a Billboard chart. It's the one I go to every week. It's the Hot 100 chart. Now, if you're a Billboard subscriber, there are other charts you can get in there by being a Billboard subscriber, but you don't have to be. But this is kind of what it looks like each week that I go in there. And if you click on any of them, it'll show you where it was last week, the peak position, and how many weeks on the chart it's been. It'll show you that for every one, and it'll play the video, but I don't want it to do that, so shut down. And that's what we're going to kind of look at. So like, is if I go through my average thing each week and I go down the chart, and just, again, the way my brain kind of works through things, I run a totally separate thing, and I need to go here. I'm going to show it to you first. And we're going to stop that, and then we're going to go share. I'm going to keep sharing, John. I just want to share something different.
Yep.
All right. So here is my virtual DJ, what I run. Okay. And each month I do a folder, and this is all the songs I've downloaded for this month. That's it. These are all the songs that have hit this month. I know what you're going to say, that you shouldn't do it that way, blah, blah, blah. Just follow along with me here. I'm just trying to get you an easy way to begin. There is no absolute way to do it. You can pick a way to do it you like if you like. And I have a folder. What's that?
I've got to slide the window over. I'm not seeing the folders. Okay, now I'm better.
Okay, that was on your side. Okay, it's fine there. Okay, but I have what's called a virtual folder, or a smart folder, or a crate, depending on what software you use, and I call it Current Top 20 Plus. And that means if it's in the top 20, I'm putting it in this each single week and saving it. So this is not in the order of what is a hit. They're just in there. So what I would do is I would look down the chart, and number 1 was Old Town Road. So I would go into here, find Old Town Road, drag it down to my holding area. So when I get all the songs from the top 40 that way in this holding area, I then clear out this folder and then drag all these back in there to now be in there for each week.
Oh, okay.
That kind of makes sense, because it's so you go, how do you know? Well, I'll go down. Old Town Road was number 1. Put it down there. What's number 2? Let's say Shallow was number 2. Put it down there. Let's say Envy was number 3. Pull it down there. Then I get to a song I don't have. I then go download it, do the stuff I'm going to show here in a few minutes. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go here and I'm going to highlight. I would highlight everything like this. I'm just showing you how to do it in virtual. You can do it Serato however you want. And I'll right click, remove from this folder, and then that makes that folder empty. Then I would highlight all of these
and put them over there.
and drag them over to there, drop them in there, and then they're in that folder. And that way, if I want to look what's in the top 40 that week, it's that way. But again, it helps me track it. So like I said, all I do is go down the list. Number 4, oh, that's that one. Oh, that's that one. So now each one, I'm going down just one by one, dragging them into the folder, etc., so on and so forth, until I get up to where I want to go.
And you do that each and every week.
Yeah, right. Normally I do it on Thursdays, but because of the show, we have to start doing it on Tuesdays. But that's part of my thing, that I'll go in there every single week, go pull up Billboard on one, because like my computer has dual monitors, Billboard on one, the DJ. Well, actually, I have to do the DJ computer, so I have the Billboard up there, scrolling on it, and then I just drag and drop each one down into there as I go down through there, and then I hit a song that I don't have, I then go get, and that's what we're going to kind of talk a little bit about now. If I can stop sharing, and then I have to reshare over to here. Okay, so this week, like I said, as I scroll down through there, a couple of songs jumped on to the Billboard this week, and they were I just blanked on the name of the two.
You told me.
I don't remember what it is now.
Well, the 27 there was one of them.
Yeah, because I want to make sure we're looking at what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
so
we're
back here, and like I said, through virtual, I clicked on the folder, and right now I have First Scene right here, and I put them in the order. So these were the two songs, Shug and Here With Me, and that's one with Marshmello. And those two are the ones that came into the chart. So what I would do is that I would go over to, hold on here, doing this the right way. So I saw them on the Billboard. So this was one right here. And then right there, where's the other Marshmello one at?
Yeah, Here With Me at number 31.
Was it 31?
Yep.
There it is. So 31 and 27 were the first time in the charts this week. So it's a 8 weeks in the chart, and it was 37 last week. I didn't grab it at 37, so that means for some reason I didn't go all the way up to 40. I only went up to 37 last week. I didn't download, so I downloaded this, following week. Then I would go over into one of my downloads. Did that change screens right there?
Yep. We're seeing BPM Supreme right now.
That's what I would search for. And then I would find what I want. There are several different versions here. I would listen through it. And this is why I say you search for them one by one, you get what you want. Don't just have somebody hand you something, because there's all these different versions here. And then each version has different edits within the version. So we have a trap remix, we have a transition remix, we have a slam edit, we have another transition, a rework. This one here has, for those of you who know what Serato flipped is, these are already pre-flipped for Serato, so you don't have to worry about that. They're already done there. So this one is the plain version. So if I click here and open this up, and this is the way in a lot of them, you can now pick what you want. So if I want just a regular clean version, I have that. I have a clean version with an intro, a dirty version with an intro, a quick hit clean, and a dirty hit clean. I pick what I want, and I can pick several of these if I also choose to, but it helps you get what you want. Then I take it from there. We're going to go back out of here, back over to virtual. And then I would take that song and I would right click on it and I would analyze for BPM, and it let it analyze it once. I would drag it up in there and I would listen and set the cue points. And the way, as we talked before, my cue points are number 4 is always the first word and number 8 is always the last word. And I go back 8 counts or 4 counts, depending on how I want to do that. So every song, I don't have to know this song inside and out. I just know that right there's where the first word begins, and right there's where the last word ends. So when I'm mixing, I know to come in there. If I come in on 3, right here's the first word. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go on back to the chart and pick the next song up and scroll down through and find something I don't have. And then you take the step beyond that. I'm going to go back to here. And I have to move this somehow. I don't know how to move this. There we go. I can move it. There's, you don't see it, but on my browser, the share thing's covering. So we're back to Billboard here. So those came on quick. So those are the 2 that hit last week that I did download. Was the Marshmello, Here With Me, and Shug. But there were 2 that hit, John, that I absolutely refused to download.
Oh, no. You ended up downloading multiple versions.
I did not. And the 2 that were downloaded are right there, 33 and 34. because they're country. Everyone knows I hate country. So unless it becomes a hit, like Old Town Road or the one that Bebe did with Florida Georgia Lines, or TV, however you prefer to pronounce it, until it became a hit, I don't download it. So if these came up in hits, then I would go back to that process again, and I would look for those remixes for me. But for you, if you just want to grab them, grab them. But that's all you have to do. But those are the ones that hit this week. But here's an interesting thing, that prior to last week, Taylor Swift had released Me. And I knew it was going to chart because I listened to it, and I'm like, it's going to hit somewhere. So I grabbed it prior to. So it was actually grabbed the week before. It popped in at 100.
Last week it was at 100. This week it's at 2.
Because I knew it was going to come in just because it was that. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And you will find certain ones like that. The one that I'm so blank. You have to forgive me. I've had a tough couple of weeks. My mind is completely gone. Superfly. Thank you. I could not think of the dude's name. Ivan talked about in his show, Concalma. Also was one of those ones that popped in really hard. Was big on the other stuff, other charts, really big, the dance charts and stuff like that. But popped in just week before last, I think it was, whatever it was, and popped in within the top 40. But because of, this is where we're going to talk about here in a little bit, that it's more than just the charts, because him talking about it, certain people, certain DJs, have a certain feel and a certain vision towards things that you may not have. Take a listen to them, because if they say it's there, don't hesitate to grab it. So what's it going to hurt you to grab one song? So like that was a good example. Taylor Swift is the opposite, not the opposite, but an equal and opposite example that wasn't there, but you saw, this is going to go somewhere. You can just kind of see those songs that are maybe the summertime hits or whatever, you kind of feel that. So you're not stuck to just the 40. Do not feel you are stuck to that. Like I said, don't hesitate to go over to Spotify's chart. One of the things I like about theirs, it's so up to the minute here. Let me grab that here. I used to have a link for that. Weekly charts, and then we're going to go, because you have multiple weekly charts. I'm going to share that as soon as I figure out how to share that. And I'm going to share that. Okay, so we're talking the United States, the 9th, which is last Wednesday.
Somewhere there,
Yeah. And here's some songs right there that were not in there. Homicide by Logic. I'm kind of curious to see where that's at. So it's not showing in the 100 on the regular charts. Yeah. So that's a good example right there. One that's not even in the 100, but it's on Spotify. So there's a chance that you might want that one because it's number 1 on Spotify. It's not absolutely not necessary. Same if you go over to the viral, you will see the pushed ones there. These are the ones that are like that are hot but not charting. Good way to kind of look at that. It's a little different, but it's still within there. But like I said, there's a difference there. This one here's one I downloaded a few weeks ago. It was after his death, they released an SOS, which is the name of the song. Hasn't hit Billboard. It's on here because people like it. I got it because I figured people might like it.
So MJ, what happened that it just changed global? It went global.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. That's interesting that.
Yeah.
Well, now
we're looking at daily. So now we'll go to, that was daily. So now the week.
Okay. So okay. So boy, there's a variation so much in that.
That's why I say this is all like the last second. This chart shows you the last couple of seconds. It's basically the way to look at it.
You just keep
that's why I say you can grab stuff, but it's not. Billboard's going to get for the average DJ that doesn't need the stuff now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, you can go, like the funny thing is when Drake's last album hit, I think there was 11 songs on the album or 12 songs. 1 through 12 was Drake on Spotify. So, but there was a few over on Billboard. In the same way they popped on, popped off. I want to go back to the Billboard chart for a second and talk about something else that we talked about. Top of the hour. And share again. What number did it go to this week? I forgot. Let me find it here. There it is, 47. Okay, that has spent 3 weeks on the charts, 2 of which were in the top 40. Okay, Lil Uzi Vert, I'm guessing that's pronounced Sanguine Paradise. I'm horrible with enunciations of stuff. But for the past 2 weeks, I have looked at the 2 download services that I look at, that I subscribe to, is BPM Supreme and Club Killers. And neither one of those had any versions. Clean, radio, nothing. Didn't have them at all. A few other download services did have it. Now, I've seen some other songs come in and go the opposite, to where these guys will have it and other ones weren't. Talking with John and different people, what we're learning is that certain download services have rights by the record labels to be able to have their songs to be able to download to a subscribing DJ. Other ones don't. So whatever record label that was on, these 2 didn't have the rights to be able to put it up there. Others do. So you might run into that. Again, yet another reason to pay for multiples. Don't necessarily leave your life in one thing only. So just kind of a thought there on how to look at everything. And again, that's kind of how I look at it, how the show's going to be. I'm going to be jumping into the chart, looking at seeing what's popping up there, what I downloaded, why I downloaded it. And we can talk about versions that I downloaded, why I choose the versions I do, because you're paying for a monthly fee for the 2 that I have. Well, actually, this is a good example. BPM Supreme is a monthly. So I pay monthly for it, unlimited downloads, video, audio, whatever I want. So I could 20 versions of that same song if I want. On Club Killers, I bought credits. So I bought 90 credits for $30. So a credit is a song or a video single. So I can go, if I don't find one here I like, I go over there and spend one of my credits that I've already paid for a song that if they don't have it, I go to the other one and they have it. So you can look at different ways to get the songs, and you always have the option of something like iTunes, that if neither one has it, there's almost a 100% chance that iTunes is going to have it. You'll have to pay like $1.29 or whatever it is now for the average song, and get the song you need. So there are more options than just one, and I suggest don't stick yourself to just one all the time.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's a big thing that more DJs are finding out, is that we used to be, the discussion was top hits and prime cuts, and having multiple of those because they were servicing music differently. And now DJs are finding out that, okay, so they're getting their music videos and some of their mixes from promo only. They're finding other additional mixes and things released at BPM. iDJ Pool has got some. I mean, it's like everybody's got. There's different tracks hitting at each chart, and it makes it. There isn't a one size fits all. And a friend of mine from Denver who does music videos, it sounds like he's constantly switching. He's using it for a while, and then he goes over here for a while, and he goes over here. It's a lot. It sounds like a lot of work to be doing that. And
you're still looking at the same amount of songs each week. You're just looking at a different place to see if they have more versions.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned iDJ Pool. And iDJ Pool, if those of you who use virtual, that is their online streaming one of their online content things for streaming songs. The same if you have Serato, you would have either Tidal or SoundCloud Go Plus. And the other 2 that I had, the BPM Supreme and the Club Killers, did not have that song, but the iDJ Pool had 5 different versions, including either an instrumental or an acapella. I don't remember which it was. So there's a good example where I pay for 3 because if I want the song, if I need to play it, I'm going to have it, whether it be a streaming for a week until someone else gets it, that sort of thing. So, I pay, I think it's $10 for the one. The other one I paid, like I said, $30 or $35 for 90 credits. That stays till I run them out. And then $10 for the iDJ Pool each month. And also another 10 for the Deezer, which I don't always subscribe to both of those at the same time. But I'm trying, like you said, your friend, John, I'm trying them out, seeing what I can get, what I like, what I don't like. And that was a good example there of couldn't get it on the other ones, but I could stream it if I needed it to. Somebody requested it and I wanted to play it. I could. it always gives you those options. And with the technology, like I said, I was talking to somebody the other day about a younger DJ. I'm like, you guys have no idea, because I was, if those of you follow me online and follow my Facebook or Instagram, a story mode, I posted a picture of Saturday night after a bunch of us were DJ. We went to eat at this place that stays open till 3 a.m. in the city, and they sell fries. And I'm telling you, a small fry is like a basket like that. So you flip that. But we were talking about on that same drag in the 90s, there were multiple record stores, and I would come in from, because I lived outside the city, come in on a day and make a day of it, going to this record store, checking through everything, CDs back then, go over to the other one, do all this stuff, take a break, go up to get my fries, go back to the other one. And I would spend the whole day looking, to where now you don't have to leave your desk. I can get up in the morning, look down at the chart saying I need 5 songs, and I got 5 songs like that. So you can say it's changed the industry for bad or good, but as a person who literally committed a day of my life to go pick out songs all the time and just sit and go through things, I'll take this any day of the week. So do we want to do questions, or did I kind of make that explain? The live show we're doing on the future with the hits will be shorter. It'll be probably pre-recorded, but I'll be basically talking about the songs that come out, where you can get them, versions, how long they've been on charts. It'll be kind of like a smushed down version of like America's Top 40 or something silly like that, but not as cool and not as comprehensive. But basically, just what hits within those top 40 each week is what I'm going to be talking about.
One question I want for those of you that are in the chat room with us tonight, and is watching this video, on the show that MJ is going to be doing, what would be the most valuable, or some of the most valuable parts of it? Obviously, he's going to be able to. He'll talk about what the songs that are hitting that week. Would seeing how MJ sets cue points for the songs be of interest? Would getting a little backstory on the songs be of interest? How in depth do you guys want him to go with these tracks that are, do you just want him to go and say, hey, here's 1 song, 2 song, 3 song, 4 songs, song 4 looks like it's good, song 5 and 6 are country songs that are going to, is that enough, or do you want him to go more in depth? So let us know in the comment section down below, or if you're with us live, on how with this we can make this just as valuable to you as possible. Now, the next show we've got coming up here. Oh, go ahead.
I said I would like to answer Reggie's statement that he made there. They're not streaming polka yet.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Take a look, Reg. Polka, all streamable.
Oh, it's streaming off
Deezer.
Off Deezer?
Yeah. And that's just typing in the word polka. So if they aren't genred that way,
well, there's quite a few of them that are. That's funny.
Yeah, so don't say it can't be, because that's why I tell people get multiples. That's why in this is a good example as to why iDJ Pool will get me DJ edits, like an intro edit, an outro edit. I know it's going to be, it'll say clean if it's clean, dirty if it's dirty. But Deezer does not. But Deezer has millions of songs. And there's a perfect example right here. DJing a place the other night, and it was the kind of night it was, it pretty much anything could go. I really wasn't saying no to a whole lot. And somebody come up and asked for Nickelback. I have no Nickelback because I have no desire to play Nickelback. But I know people like it. So what did I do? I went to iDJ Pool and the Content Unlimited for virtual. They had no Nickelback, so I like them. But I went to Deezer, and they obviously had the whole catalog, and I just drag and dropped and was able to play a Nickelback song, and people liked it and sang along. And it was funny because there's sections on it where there's this pounding thing, and all the waitresses and bar backs were all at the same time beating on the bar. Da, 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 da. So that kind of thing can help you. So don't be afraid to jump into these things and grab them, because there's things there that might help you that you may not think they're going to help you. Like I said, for what I pay for that once or twice a month is so worth it to me.
Excellent.
Questions?
They're getting a little feedback here. Thank you, John, for the talking about the cue points a little bit.
Okay, cue points. I can do, like I said, I've always kind of done those pretty simple. Do we want to cover those tonight, or we want to save that for?
I think we'll save it for the next show. We went to kind of show it and kind of outlined, and I want to wrap things up a little bit. Because Shaney's going to be talking about some of the same songs that we talked about, and there's going to be some more songs. But Shaney's going to be looking at, we're changing the I Got 5 on a little bit to give it a little more variety. And Shaney's going to be focusing each week on some songs that are going to be something you can use on your dance floor. And again, that's not what we did tonight, because as if you listen to one of those two songs when MJ was playing it before we started tonight, it was like a head scratcher, and he was saying his eyes were starting to water, and I do believe it was mumble rap.
New. Get caught with you when I'm popping the boat. Now they hot just like Bobby and Whitney. Say I'm the GOAT, act like I don't know. But fucking I'm obviously.
That's the clean version, obviously. And the other one was Marshmallow, which I like this.
So that has a little bit more. But those are the types of things that hit each week, and MJ will be covering that.
That's
and
they were grabbed, not necessarily like Shaney's going to cover. I'm not saying play those because they're going to fill your floor. I'm just saying they hit within the top 40. There's a chance you're going to get a request or want to play it. So go ahead and grab it.
And that's where we're going to, Shaney, who's out there DJing multiple times a week, and a lot of us aren't doing that anymore. And when we go out, we need to have that experience, and she's going to be able to bring that and say, hey, this, because she's done this on the Monday Night Show a number of times, and I know a lot of you have been like, hey, Shaney turned us on to that song 2 weeks before it hit. And that's what we are going to be, she's going to be adding to the show. So she can talk about slow songs because, that romantic side of Shaney is there.
All the slow stuff? Okay, I don't have that.
I probably didn't put enough sarcasm into that. You got to hear.
I didn't pick up on that. Sorry. I was actually reading in the chat. People were talking about iDJ Now. Yes, that is where Virtual gets its content unlimited for audio. VDJ Pro for their video. And
not iDJ Now, iDJ Pool.
iDJ Pool. Sorry.
Yep. iDJ Now is gear. Yeah. But yeah, it's
sorry, iDJ Now, iDJ Pool, VJ Pro for the video, and Digitrax for the karaoke stuff. Sorry, I did say that because there's so many now, you get them mixed up. Blah, blah, blah sort of thing. They all have different names.
That they do. Shaney's with us in the chat room, by the way. Shaney, you're going to need to hit on that, the Korean pop stuff a little bit more tonight on the second show, because that's a question I have gotten probably a dozen times here in the last, while I was in Vegas and I'm recording, people were messaging about that. So we're going to let Shaney dig into that tonight a little bit more, because that, for those who don't play that and then all of a sudden they're getting at weddings and they're getting, the whole K-pop. I had someone at a prom come up and say, do you have any K-pop? Which, of course, I knew what they were referring to. I played Huey Lewis, but I was, wasn't sure.
Wow.
Just wanted to work that.
Really? No, it's she'll cover it. But like I said, for those of us who know, I'm going to let her cover it. But what I'm going to say is it surprised me how long it took for it to be at the point where you're getting asked at weddings and stuff for it, because I expected it, because I know people were listening to it and talking about it for years now. Wow. And it surprised me that it took this long for it to be as popular as it is.
And that's interesting, because you're being more of an East Coast, out on the East Coast more, and we in flyover country here, we used to be that you guys would get a song or you guys would be playing something, and 6 months to a year later, we would start to see it on our dance floor, which happened an incredible number of times, and that doesn't happen anymore as far as there's more homogeneous.
Everything's instant now. Like I said, looking at the Spotify, like we looked at, like those songs on Spotify that you didn't know at the top of there's a chance they'll be on Billboard in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
it's like I said, it's a chasing game. But if you narrow it down to like I said, the way I do it here, simply grabbing what you don't have week by week in just the top 40. Plus, you can go past the top 40 if you want. I just like to look at the top 40. It's just my way. It makes it a lot easier than grabbing hundreds of songs all at once once a month.
So a couple of let's go back to that, the music, the way you did your music and such. How long do you put into managing that part of your music list each week? Does it take you an hour, 2 hours, 15?
And an hour usually for that right there.
Okay.
But I take time, and I do go through my music library. I try to go through once or twice a week, looking at things that I have that maybe don't have a year marking in it. Or don't have maybe a genre right, and I'm always trying to clean up my my library on stuff. Like I said, Virtual has lots of tools that let you look at things that aren't tagged with genres. You can just look at all the songs that don't have a genre and look at the play count and said, I've played this song 100 times. It doesn't have a genre. Let's go find out let's put something in there. But for that part of it, it's like I said, it's I sit down, I look at the chart, drag and drop. Don't have this one. Go get it, download it, mark it, put it in there, go to the next one, drag and drop. When I get all 40, I'm like, okay, I'm there. Highlight, delete, highlight, drag in, done.
You mentioned, of course, keeping your library clean. Do you purge? Throw songs out that you've never played, and when is that time, if you do?
Those are usually almost always done scrolling through going, what is this? Why do I have this? Delete sort of thing.
Okay.
I could be, there's nights I've DJ'd that I've scrolled down through and I'm like, I have a video version of this now, that I don't want this old audio version that I downloaded off Napster back in the day at, at what is it, 28K quality. I'm like, I know this is a crappy quality, because a while back I had a version of Spice Girls Wannabe that I remember when I had it on CD, it skipped. And when I transferred it over from CD to MP3, I still played the skip. The version has a little bloop in there. and after a while, I'm like, I have a video version. I have remixes and edits. Why do I still have that blurp version in there? So right click, delete, it's gone. So I'm not saying that's the way to do it, but that's just kind of what I kind of look through it one at a time. Look at doubles if I have doubles. If, like I said, as I'm going through the library and checking things that are there, and I'll go, oh, I have 5 versions of this. What do I need? And if I do that, I'll drag and listen. I'm like, they're the exact same thing. This one has 25 plays. This one has 2 plays. Obviously, just delete the one, make myself a little bit more room. But everybody has different ways. There are programs out there that will show you duplicates that you can go through that quicker. My way is not the way. It's just kind of the way I do it. But like I said, I like to be very hands-on, do my weekly thing, just grab the few that I need that week. And then if I have time at another time in the week, I'll sit down and go through things and tag and delete and move and put, if something's not in a proper folder of the year or genre or whatever I think it should be, it gets there, or create a new folder for something. Maybe it's a whole folder on mashups or a whole folder on K-pop or something like that. So that's when I take the more time to create a little bit more detailed in what I'm doing. And then do not forget to back up your stuff a lot. I'm saying minimum 4 times a year, you need to back up everything on your DJ computer.
Oh yeah.
Minimum 4 times a year. That's all I have to say about that.
I think I have 6 different hard drives with my backups on it. And
that's the other thing that's good, that if you can get multiples. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them in the house. And I've got 2. Michael's got 2 that he works from. And then we each have a copy out here. So I guess technically we really only have 2 backups to the original. But there's, in essence, 6 copies of the full library, because I buy 2 versions or 2 libraries with the music collections and such.
There's a couple ways to do that I think are important. I have a friend of mine that does his on a bank where he has multiples, where he has 2 of them that are his thing, and then those 2 always back up to these 2. Mm-hmm. And if he pulls these 2 out, these 2 will back up to these 2, so that if one of these dies, they're always ones that are automatically backing up. You can just make a copy. You can also put stuff online. But here's something I tell people that think about, that like if my house caught on fire, and my DJ computer's in my bag back there, and my backup setting here on the desk, and my other backup sitting over here, that's still all in the same fire. So make a backup, put it on a hard drive, give it to a friend at another house. So if crap happens, you have an off-site backup, whether you want to do it online, or I recommend just throwing another hard drive, because it's a lot easier to grab a hard drive than to pull everything off your cloud. Let's say you have a terabyte or 2 terabyte or 10 terabyte cloud storage, which a lot of people do. It's a lot quicker to just grab that hard drive than to download off the cloud. But it's always good. Like I said, if this is your profession, if I were to lose something today, I would be able to grab a hard drive, go grab a computer somewhere, put the program on there, and DJ that night and make money if I had to. Mm-hmm. I might not be terribly efficient, but it's your job. It's your income. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah, you could function. So, again, we're going to wrap things up with our show for tonight. And again, coming soon here in June, which is only a couple of weeks away. Goodness gracious. We're going to have a couple of new music shows. There's actually going to be a couple of them hitting on Sunday. And then MJ is going to be having his look at what hit that week on the Billboard charts. That'll happen on Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll have to figure out what's going to work the best for him. And then, of course, Shanie's going to be having her picks, and she'll be bouncing all around with giving you picks that will work on your dance floor. So should be a nice little, for those of you who are wanting to talk music and kind of keep up on it because you don't have the time, because you've got life getting in the way of your DJ passion. That should be, hopefully, a lot of help. A lot of help for your business. So MJ, thank you much for being on tonight. And gang, Shani and Dan will be up in about 20 minutes. You guys can just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/DiscJockeyNews, and they will be live in 20. Catch you later.